According to the Bureau of Labor, 21.3% of individuals in the workforce have a disability. Perhaps you're part of that 21%, or you already are a business owner and you do have a disability. How do you manage a business effectively with a disability? G'day, Ron here from ronaldosborne.org, where I help business owners and entrepreneurs like yourself achieve their version of success. Today, what I'm going to do is give you some tips and tricks that you can utilize to manage your business with a disability. So before we jump into it, I would like to talk about my disability. Now, I don't have it as bad as a lot of guys out there, but I was a soldier that was injured. My stomach was injured when I was serving in the Australian Army. I had to be medically discharged. Now, it's quite inconvenient. It's led me to have, let's say, quite a complicated and difficult life sometimes. It has severely impacted me at some stages of my life. To this day, it's very, very challenging, and it is something that will require a lot of work on my behalf to make sure that I don't exaggerate the condition that I have. And yes, it does impact my life and my business in some significant ways. Now, I don't consider my disability as extreme. I look at someone that unfortunately lost a leg serving overseas, or in any individuals such as friends that have PTSD from their service for their country. That to me is on the really extreme end. Now, my wife is a medical doctor, and she does constantly make comments about how my disability does impact my day-to-day life. I can't do everything that I want to do all the time. It is quite debilitating. However, I look at those guys and girls and I personally believe that they have it very difficult. So I'm not here to score sympathy points. I'm here to help anyone out there that's like me, that needs some advice on how you can go ahead and have a multi-million-dollar business still with a disability. Because I personally believe that disabilities do not define you. It's how you overcome them that defines you. Everyone in this entire world has something that they're trying to overcome, some type of difficulty. So you are not alone, and it was very reassuring to find out that there were other individuals out there that did have similar problems to me, just in different ways. Because I look to the world and I look to history, such as individuals like JFK. He had Addison's disease and he became the president of the United States. Remarkable. You look at someone like Richard Branson, that guy's a billionaire, and he does have some difficulties with learning, which you would think would seriously impact an individual's ability to run $1 billion corporation. The beautiful thing about business is that businesses run off solving problems. Perhaps your disability is something that you'll create a business for, and you'll help others overcome the difficulties that you are experiencing. Know your limitations and accept them. When I was told that I would need to be discharged from the Army, that was quite challenging. The Army was really all I knew at that point, and it was a hard pill to swallow. My family is military. My father, my uncle, my cousins-in-law, military. Everyone's been involved in it in some way, shape, or form. It took me a long time to actually understand that I wasn't going to be able to work in particular jobs and do particular roles. I would have to do something more officey, which personally I never really liked. I was always more so hands-on. I had to move away from mostly physical labor into something where I'd be at least able to sit in a chair most of the time and have restricted movements. But over the years, I came to accept my disability and the limitations that are placed on my life, and I started to overcome them. Something that really helped me overcome my disability was creating effective strategies and having a contingency plan. So with my job as the CEO of a telecommunications company, back way when, with the first business that I started, I would have to meet a lot of people. That would mean that I'd have to meet with individuals in Melbourne, in Sydney, in different locations across Australia. I'd have to fly in, fly out to meet these important individuals and discuss the plans and proposals about work going forward. And this is back a couple of years ago. I wasn't able to just simply get them on a video conference call like we can now because it wasn't as accepted. When we were discussing multi-million-dollar deals, it's very, very important to be there in person and shake an actual hand. So I developed a bit of a contingency plan. Those meetings were very important. So what I did is, as my business grew, I hired a superintendent that was able to tackle those challenges if anything arose. If anything went wrong, Darren would step up and go out and attend these meetings. And as the business grew, I actually got Darren to go out and attend most meetings. So then that way, everyone started to become quite familiar with Darren. He could take on that role and that responsibility. And then that way, we mitigated the risk of me ever having to cancel anything. When it comes to creating a contingency plan for your disability, it's important to understand what could be impacted, what stakeholders and what other items. So as an example, if you do have depression, if you do have one of those types of illnesses, that disability, then what you should do is plan in case that creeps up on you. You will understand how that will impact you. You have an understanding of it and you can try and plan around it. I know that will be challenging. I understand completely, but you have to do your best. If you're in business, you will have to plan for those bad days and you have to have something that will help you overcome it. Set up a contingency plan. That will honestly return so much value to you. Trust me. Another thing you need to do is set clear boundaries for yourself. Take it slow. Having a disability will slow you down, regardless of what it is. Like I just mentioned before, perhaps it is depression. That will slow you down naturally. There'll be days when you just don't want to get out there and hit it. So be understanding of that. Don't push yourself too hard so you just work, hit a wall, and then bounce back. That's not ideal to do. So you need to take it slow. You need to work within your boundaries and your limitations of the disability. In the example I just gave with depression, perhaps the best thing for you is you know that on certain days or at certain moments you will feel a particular way. Don't necessarily try to push through them if it's going to cause bigger problems for you. Plan accordingly. Keep to that restricted boundary that will help you. Now in business, you are going to be pushed. And what I'm saying is that you don't need to just set a wall that you can't climb over. No, you should try and move yourself forward every single day to try and achieve more. But it's about balance. You don't need to do this constant push and then recede back and then lose everything that you've worked so hard to achieve because your disability just pushes you into the ground. Work it in a smart and approachable way that will achieve you longer term results. Now, I don't buy into the victimhood mentality. If you do have a disability, you should set clear boundaries and try to always move forward. You don't ever want to just set up a wall, say, woe is me, and give up. Don't do that. Having a business is one of the most rewarding things you could possibly do. And I would highly suggest that you do everything in your power to help yourself become better and extend that boundary every single day. It will only help you and it can help with your disability, but you should ensure that you're playing it smart and you're playing it safe. Make sure that you're getting the help that you need. Every disability is going to have different complications, different issues. I'm not the same. My problems, my disability is not the same as an individual suffering with depression. Yes, it both impacts our work, but certain things will help them and not help me. That's where you will need to seek the advice of a professional. Always work with a professional to help you. You should not just go at this alone. You should work with someone qualified to help you. Never ever just leave it to a dude on YouTube to help you. Seek help from a certified, qualified professional. Now, there are some cheeky pros to being a disabled business owner. You get to get some cool loans and some cool incentives that other people can't get. The SBA, or the Small Business Association, actually offers grants to individuals that were veterans and injured. They offer grants to other business owners that do have disability problems. You should contact them. I'll have a link to that below and you can make sure that you reach out to them. You have the AEO, or the Association of Enterprise Opportunity. These guys will help you set up loans, or they can even offer grants to you at discounted rates. I created an article with a list of grants that any business owner can go on and look at. Now, I will link that down below, but as you can see, there's a ton of information here that will take you to the right place where you can get the help you need. And the last thing that I'd have to mention is that you just want to keep at it. Having a disability is hard, and having a business is even harder. You just want to keep your will up high and keep going strong. Having a business will help you do whatever you want, and it will help you actually work within the bounds of your disability. I could not work for someone else with my disability, especially when I left the military and probably even now, because it would be quite challenging for me. Certain circumstances would need to be made available. I would probably have to work from home. I wouldn't be able to go into an office every single day from 9 to 5 because there would be times when I just can't. The biggest thing that helped me actually overcome my disability was having a beautifully well-written, well-structured contingency plan. Make sure that your team is aware of all of the problems. Now, it's up to you if you want to advise people about your disability. Some people on my team knew, mainly my individuals that were my managers, my supervisors, because I would have to explain to them from time to time, hey, can you please step in and fulfill my role for this meeting, to go out there to check out this, to check this problem out, because I wasn't able to attend. That's the truth of it. So it was important those individuals knew. However, when it came to just my everyday employee, not all of them knew about it because I didn't necessarily share that information with them because it wasn't really relevant. When it comes to you, it's entirely your decision. You can let as many people know about your disability if you want, or you can keep it to yourself. But what I would suggest is seeking your medical help, listening to a certified, qualified professional that will be able to help you, and you can ask them about what's best for you in your situation. I'm not here to say that it's going to be easy, but I'm telling you right now, if you do have a contingency plan, that's going to be one of the best things that you can do. If you let your advisors, your highest ranking managers around you know what's going on with you, they will feel a little bit more included, and it can actually help you. Sometimes you might feel a little bit scared to tell them, but for me personally, it was great. It was awesome being able to say, this is what's going on. Sometimes it's going to work out, sometimes it's not. So for me, it was very freeing. Everyone understood and we just cracked on. That's how it should be. So at the end of the day, being a business owner is incredibly rewarding, and you shouldn't let a disability stand in the way of your fulfillment and your life goals. You should not let that happen. Make sure that you always chat with your medical professional. You listen to what they say and what they have and their perspective on it, everything. You need to listen to them completely. I'm not a qualified professional. I can't give you any medical advice or anything like that. You need to seek that from a qualified professional. I can't help you there. What I can help you with is the little bits of business advice and perhaps little things that you can do, appropriate strategies to ensure that your business is okay through these, I guess you would say sometimes, fluctuating times. Believe in yourself, believe in your business, listen to your medical or healthcare provider, whatever it is, ensure that you work within those boundaries, you have a contingency plan, and I wish you all the luck in the world with your business. Have a lovely day.